And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the heart of the Inland Empire, right here in sunny Southern California, it's Robert Cardoza Live, where we talk about politics, money, and you. This is the intersection of business and politics. And now here's your host, Robert Cardoza.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And here we are, the beginning of a brand new week. The Democratic National Convention starts today, and it started with a lot of controversy and a lot of flurry. We'll have some things to talk about with that. Later on in the show, we'll be talking to John Matthews as we do our simulcast, and I'm sure that we're going to be talking about some things at the RNC and the DNC. But I want you to know that on today's show, we're going to discuss what's in the news, new legislation, the IRS loses, and then we will be doing our ongoing segment, the rest of the story. And then, of course, as I mentioned already, we're going to be with John Matthews and Joe Hakos, and we're going to be talking about conservative politics on our semi-weekly simulcast. John Hanson will be here, that little old wine drinker. We'll be talking about food and wine. We got a lot of great show for you, and we're going to get right to it. But you know what? Right off, I want to start off with an encapsulated system of news so we can tell you about the 10 things that are hottest right now that you need to know about, and then we'll get into a little bit more in depth. Here are the 10 things that you need to know for Monday, your daily look at late-breaking news, upcoming events, and the stories that will be talked about all day today and probably tomorrow as well. And right off the top, you can guess, Clinton's convention is set to kick off amid the discord. Hillary Clinton must overcome lingering bitterness among supporters of defeated rival Bernie Sanders and clean up a resurgent political mess of the party's own making. Well, I can tell you that the convention is kicked off, and it has been kind of a mess. Well, Democratic National Committee leader resigns. That's where the mess starts. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the successful fundraiser, party advocate, and talking mother and breast cancer survivor, is on the outs after publication of emails that suggest Democratic officials favored Clinton over Sanders. Well, women remain underrepresented in office. Hillary Clinton might be the first woman to top a major party presidential ticket, but the broader political landscape is a different story. In state legislatures, 16 states having fewer women serving than in 2005. Well, an explosion in Germany. In Bavaria, already on edge after 2 attacks in recent days, police say a man was killed when an explosive device that he was believed to be carrying went off near an open-air musical festival, injuring 10 people. And in Nice, the attacker had a well-kept secret. Mohamed Lanoji Boual, a father of 3 obsessed with fitness and sex, hid that he was a committed jihadi ready to kill scores of people in the French Riviera rampage. Yeah, go figure. That's not much of a surprise, is it? Well, heat wave bakes America, I should say. Excessive heat warnings will continue today in most of the Midwest, West, and in the Philadelphia area, where 50,000 are expected for the start of this week's Democratic National Convention. And Russia evades a total ban on the Olympics. Olympic leaders give individual global sports federations the task of deciding which athletes should be cleared to compete in next month's Rio de Janeiro Games. Yep. Who is calling for renewed discussions on the race? Civil rights veterans who marched against a white supremacist system 50 years ago say the U.S. still needs honest dialogue about race, even if it's uncomfortable. Well, what about the Brexit could cost the world? A report says global mergers and acquisitions could drop by as much as $1.6 trillion over the next 5 years, unless Britain quickly agrees to exit the European Union but remain in the bloc's common trade market. And we'll see what happens with that. And early signs of Alzheimer's affect more than just the memory. Researchers say changes in behavior or personality could also be the early clue, and proposed a checklist of symptoms to alert doctors and families to what's going on. We keep learning more and more about this, and just when we thought we knew a lot about it already. Well, we have a disaster that's kind of taken place. At least 15 people are killed and dozens injured in a killing near Tokyo. This came in just 11 minutes ago. Japan's national broadcaster, NHK, is reporting that 15 people were killed and 45 injured in a knife attack at a facility for handicapped in Sagamihara, just outside of Tokyo. The report said police have arrested a knife-wielding man after he turned himself in. NHK said the suspect, 26 years old, is a former employee at the facility. Kyoto News Agency reported that 19 people are dead and 20 injured. When is this garbage going to stop? It's getting worse and worse and worse. Something has to be done. Well, Clinton turns to party stars to quiet the Democratic firestorm. Former rivals Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders urgently joined forces today to tamp down dissent among the supporters as Democrats tried to keep infighting from overtaking an opening night featuring some of the party's biggest stars, including First Lady Michelle Obama. It was unclear whether the efforts would succeed. Chants of Bernie echoed throughout the arena, and boos could be heard nearly every time Clinton's name was raised. For Clinton, it was a turbulent start to a historic 4-day gathering that will culminate in the nomination of the very first woman to lead a major U.S. political party. It also sapped some of Clinton's energy coming out of the Republican Donald Trump's chaotic convention last week and the well-received rollout Saturday of her running mate, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine. Well, we'll see what happens. Sanders scored a major victory with the forced resignation of party chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz following the release of emails showing her staff favored Clinton during the primary despite vows of neutrality. But Sanders' aides reached out to the Clinton campaign this afternoon, to express concerns that the chairwoman's ouster wouldn't be enough to keep supporters from disrupting the convention, according to Democratic official. Well, I can tell you that it isn't enough because all hell's breaking loose. That's what's really going on. Well, let's see here. How about this? The latest Sanders delegate stresses support for Clinton. The latest on the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia, a Bernie Sanders supporter has taken the stage at the Democratic Convention and has two missions. Diane Russell, a Maine lawmaker, is trying to sell delegates on the compromise that's been reached on the future role of superdelegates in the nominating process. And she's stressing her support for Hillary Clinton. Russell led an effort to abolish superdelegates. They're the party insiders who can cast their convention vote for the candidate of their choice. She's using her convention speech to praise a deal by the party's Rules Committee that establishes a commission to review the nominating process. No question that needs to be done. What a joke. It's just, what? It's just bad. Everything is bad. The whole world sucks right now. Well, you know what? We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some pro-Sanders demonstrators are marching in the sweltering heat. And I mean sweltering heat. It's got humidity, too. I'll tell you all about it right after these brief messages. Do not go away.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Leinberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson & Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson & Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson & Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson & Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And we're talking news. You know, right now, pro-Sanders demonstrators are marching in the sweltering heat of Philadelphia. You know, several hundred Bernie Sanders supporters and other demonstrators marched down Philadelphia's sweltering Broad Street on the opening day of the Democratic Convention today, chanting, "Nominate Sanders or lose in November," and "Hey, hey, ho, ho, the DNC has got to go." The marchers made their way from City Hall toward the Convention Hall 4 miles away in South Philadelphia. As the crowd near the Convention Hall grew during the evening, demonstrators began pressing against police barriers. Police moved metal fences into place and closed the nearest subway station to arriving trains. There was no immediate word of any arrests. One of the protesters, Destin Madu of Maplewood, New Jersey, said it doesn't matter if Sanders is calling on his backers to support Hillary Clinton. He's like a Moses, she said. He led us to the promised land. Well, we'll see what happens. I think the controversy here is still got a long way to go, I'm afraid. And you know what? Speaking of controversy and a long way to go, the Democratic emails all about the hack, the leak, and the discord. First came the hack, then the leak. Now the Clinton and Trump campaigns are fighting over Russia's role in the release of thousands of internal Democratic National Committee emails. At least one thing is clear. The email uproar is an unwelcome distraction at the launch of the Democratic National Convention, inflaming the rift between supporters of Hillary Clinton and primary rival Bernie Sanders, just when the party was hoping to close it. As the Philadelphia Convention got underway today, developments in the email story rolled out in rapid sequence. Clinton's campaign, citing a cybersecurity firm hired to investigate the leak, blamed Russia for hacking the party's computers and suggested the goal was to benefit Donald Trump's campaign. Of course, that's what they figured. Trump dismissed that idea as laughable, tweeting, "The new joke in town is that Russia leaked the disastrous DNC emails." Sanders supporters certainly weren't amused, irate, in fact, that the emails confirmed their long-held suspicions that the party had favored Clinton all along. FBI announced today it was investigating how the hack occurred, saying a compromise of this nation or of this nature is something that we take very seriously. A look at the hack, the leak in the politics of the DNC. Boy, you know, go figure. These guys, gee, beneath Christmas, they're just never going to get it right, I don't think. Anyway, how about this? The Islamic State attacker, Germans won't be able to sleep peacefully. A Syrian man who tried unsuccessfully to claim asylum in Germany pledged allegiance to the Islamic State group and vowed that the nation's people won't be able to sleep peaceably anymore. In a cell phone video before blowing himself up outside a wine bar, wounding 15 people, authorities said today. The assailant set off a backpack laden with explosives and shrapnel on Sunday after being refused entry to a crowded music festival in the Bavarian city of Ansbach because he didn't have a ticket. Go figure, right? It was the fourth attack to shake Germany in a week and the second claimed by the Islamic State group. 3 of the attacks were carried out by recent immigrants, rekindling concerns about Germany's ability to cope with the estimated 1 million migrants registered entering the country last year, an influx that has since dwindled as the flow of newcomers has slowed. You know what? Everybody's afraid. I mean, if you don't think that the reason we have Brexit is because of immigration and terrorism, then you're just not thinking right, folks. That's all there is to it. Well, here's a news break. Arkansas execution drug likely from Pfizer unit. An execution drug obtained by the Arkansas prison system earlier this month appears to have been made by a subsidiary of Pfizer, even though the pharmaceutical giant has said that it doesn't want its drugs to be used in executions. The sale of the Vercuronium bromide by an unknown third party may show how difficult it could be for manufacturers to prevent such sales in states like Arkansas that have execution secrecy laws. The Associated Press today obtained redacted photos of the Vercuronium bromide label from the Arkansas Department of Correction. It matches labels submitted to the National Institutes of Health by Hosperia Incorporated, which Pfizer bought last year. The Associated Press also obtained the purchase orders for the drug, but the name of the third party that sold the drug to the department was redacted in compliance with the state's execution secrecy policy. Well, go figure. You know what? If we're gonna sentence them to death, for gosh sakes, we need to have, unless we want to be just as bad as the people that we are executing, we need to have some humane way of doing it. You know, it's interesting. I was talking to my grandson Joey just last week, and we were doing something we found out was the most humane. We were talking about it. It's the most humane way to execute someone. You're not going to believe it. It's painless. It's immediate. It's guillotine. Sounds horrible, looks horrible, absolutely efficient. Now, we have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do the IRS loses, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Our first case is a tax lien on a pension is not valid against the beneficiary. I'll tell you all about it when we get back.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Dental Family Dentistry and a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
The story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Okay, here we are at the IRS Loses. You know, this is one of the most more popular segments of our show. And, I like to think that all of them are popular for that matter. But you know what? Let's get right to it. This is the IRS Loses. The first case is a tax lien on a pension is not valid against the beneficiary. Let me tell you about it. Richard Kelly fell behind on his taxes, and as a result, the IRS put a lien on his assets, including payments from his pension plan. Now, taking part of each of those things. Now, Richard's son was his pension plan beneficiary, and when Richard died, the son became entitled to payments from the plan. The IRS said that its lien still applied to Richard's plan account, so it could still collect on the payments to the son. Well, the son went to court to get some justice. That doesn't sound like it. Here's what the judge said. The plan account had not been Richard's property since he couldn't sell or transfer it while alive. So the lien that had applied only to the money paid from the account to Richard as his property, and the money paid to his son is the son's property and therefore escapes the lien. Just makes sense. That's just the IRS trying to flex its muscles. Here's a case where the IRS actually conceded. You've heard me say it many times. They only concede when they're pretty sure they can't prevail in court. That's what's going on here. The tax court can review an innocent spouse determination. Now, way back in 1998, Congress expanded the innocent spouse rules that allow one spouse to escape tax owed on a joint return that is attributable to the other. Now, the IRS then argued that its application of the new rules could not be reviewed by the tax court. However, the court ruled otherwise, saying that it has jurisdiction over such cases and can therefore overrule the IRS. The IRS now has announced that it accepts this in cases where innocent spouse protection is sought after it assesses a tax deficiency. But the IRS further states that it still has the final word when no deficiency is assessed, as is the case when a spouse seeks a refund. You know what? The IRS they're going to lose. That's all I can say. Here's the one last one for you. The IRS loses. A deduction that it disallowed for lack of proof is actually increased by the courts. Get this one. Lionel Jones claimed a charitable deduction of $6,045 for weekly cash contributions to 2 different churches. But since he had no receipts or canceled checks for them, the IRS disallowed the entire deduction. Now, Jones filed a case in tax court. Here's the decision. Jones's testimony was credible. In addition, he presented letters from the 2 churches saying that he had contributed $3,735 and $4,466 to them respectively, a total of $8,201, which was more than he had actually deducted. Due to his credible testimony and this documentary support, his deduction was increased to this new figure. Now, you know what? You got to have a lot more respect for the court and a lot less for the IRS for what they're trying to do in cases like that. Well, you know, you heard me say many times that this next session of ours is a little bit like the Twilight Zone. We call this Inside the IRS. Well, you know, these are not tax court cases that you can actually use, to help you definitively. But these are things that are going on at the IRS that you really need to know about, decisions they've made, actions they take, that you need to know about in order to protect yourself. Now, in this first one, making a deal to reduce your credit card debt can actually mean problems when it comes to the IRS. Now, if you're solvent, that means your assets exceed your liabilities, and you compromise, which means you settle the amount of debt owed to a credit card company or any creditor for that matter, the amount of debt discharged represents taxable income. Now, many credit card companies are going to file a Form 1099-C, that's the cancel of debt form, with the IRS to report the amount of debt that you were relieved of paying. Now, the best approach here is do not compromise your debt until you are insolvent or have the debt discharged in a bankruptcy proceeding. That way, it will never be tagged to you as income. So, let me give you one more here. Tax preparers are illegally claiming the earned income credit, and they are the new targets for the IRS. You know, according to the IRS, 70% of tax returns claiming the credit prepared by professionals. Now, there is a significant amount of abuse as preparers pad their fees by making up numbers permitting taxpayers to get refunds for the earned income credit, for which they don't even qualify. Now, how this increases the preparer's income, you ever think about it? Well, these preparers not only charge for the tax return preparation, but also receive fees from the lending institutions for arranging tax refund loans at very, very high interest rates for their low-income clients. Now, fees are based on the size of the loan, and so on the size of the refund. Now, the IRS's approach: certain tax preparers who have been identified by the IRS will be visited during the year and shut down if violations are detected. You know what? You do it right. You know, I don't like the IRS and I don't like taxes any more than anybody else does, but everybody's got to pay their fair share. But you know what? Not one god-awful penny more. That's just how I feel about it. You know, you just don't want that to happen. Now listen, well, we're actually about a minute early going on our commercial break, but we're going to go ahead and do that. You know what? Before I do that, I want to remind you, we have our app available, and we'd love for you to get it. It's an easy way to listen to Robert Cardoza live. All you simply do is, if you've got an Android product or a Windows product, go to googleplay.com and search Robert Cardoza Live, and the app is right there, and it's absolutely free. Just download it. If you have an Apple product, go to the Apple Store, do the same thing. Just search Robert Cardoza Live and download the app. It's absolutely free. And you know what? If we're broadcasting live like we are now, you'll be able to listen to it live, no matter where you are, anywhere in the world. And if you don't get a chance to listen to the show live, it's all archived, and you can listen to any one of the shows you choose. There's a little button there that'll actually let you click on it, so you'll know what that day's show is all about. We'd appreciate it if you get that app, and we'd appreciate it if you tell your friends not only about the app, but about our show too. We can use all the help we can get and all the extra listeners. Now, do not go away, because when we come back, we're gonna be with our own John Matthews in our syndication corner with him. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Leinberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from the basement of his strategic planning room located at his political hideaway in Los Angeles County, the dedicated man who stands and serves the political conscience of our nation, Mr. John Matthews.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. Well, you know what? John will be with us in a couple of minutes. But right now, I want you to know that at 3:33 p.m. Pacific time, it is currently, get this, 100 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. It's on its way down to 70 degrees. That's going to be a lot more pleasant. But my guess is we'll all be asleep by the time it hits there. But if you're listening to us on our syndicated global network and you're in New York City, well, it's 75 degrees, and it's experiencing heavy rain. And in Chicago, Illinois, it's 85 degrees and mostly cloudy, which means mostly humid. That means it's hot, folks. Hot. Yeah. You know what? We do our simulcast with John Matthews and Joe Hakos twice a week, every Monday and Friday. And it's always an interesting segment for us. John and Joe are very articulate and very well informed. And you know what? We always have a lot of good things going on when we're with them. You want to listen in. We don't always agree, but it's always going to be good information, and it'll give you something to think about. That's the best part about what's going on here. Anyway, he should be calling in about 5 seconds or so, except that he's either always late or I'm a little late or what's going on. Sometimes we forget to ask who's going to contact who. That's what goes on here a lot. But then we both have to try and coordinate our commercial breaks so that they start and end about the same time. And that's where we're really trying to accomplish here right now. So they should be calling in just about any second, and we'll have that. You know, I hope that you enjoy Robert Cardoza Live. We do our best to give you a really good show and a variety of things here. We try to appeal to just about everything, you know, giving you the news, giving you the way it is without sliding it, then giving you the IRS loses, because nobody loves the IRS. They all kind of celebrate when the IRS loses. And, you know, and then we just do all those things. But you know what? Here we are right now with John Matthews and Joe Hakos. Hey, guys.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, you know, it's good to hear your voices in light of the fact that we're having World War III in Philadelphia today.
Oh, Bob, they love each other.
Hey, you know, they're like cannibals. They're eating each other.
Yeah, I guess the city of brotherly love. It all means it all matters what is, huh?
Yeah, you talk about cheesecake, or what do they call it? Cheesesteak. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like they said there, this is what democracy looks like. This is
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was going to actually open up a bottle of champagne when Debbie Wasserman Schultz finally threw in the towel today.
Well, she didn't go far, Bob. She's right there on Hillary's coattails, because Hillary knows you want to keep these people close to you before they can go somewhere else and start talking.
Well, yeah, but the honest to God truth, Joe, is the only reason that she's right on Hillary's coattails is Hillary keeps her there because she's one of the biggest money raisers in the Democratic Party.
Well, one thing we just found out. Joe just was reading here just before the break. You get rewarded when you do things like Debbie Wasserman Schultz has done. And, you know, she's being booted out of the DNC. She's being booed at the convention. She was booed out, shouted down. And you know what that got her? She's now honorary chairperson for the Clinton campaign, believe it or not.
Well, you know what? You know what's interesting? She was, I don't know if you saw the news this morning, when she was before her own delegation from Florida this morning, she was booed off the stage.
Yeah.
And she's running for re-election.
Yes, she is.
Kind of makes you wonder, you know, hey, the people over in the Texas delegate probably, hey, Ted Cruz ain't looking so bad now.
You're a diehard, John. You're a diehard.
I look at her reflection. Do not look directly at her.
I'm not an overly religious guy, but I'd hold a cross in front of me if I did.
Well, you know, she now qualifies for a job at MSNBC.
Yes. She's qualified.
Maybe what she needs to do is get some dreadlocks and then tell everybody she's really black. She can take over from Melissa Perry Harris.
Well, you know what? I actually thought she had dreadlocks for a while. You know, she had that really curly hair. So I wasn't really sure. I thought maybe she just, like so many people, have dreadlocks and just dyes them blonde.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Bob, I mean, she is what she is. We can't fault her for it, Bob. And she's gonna fall up on her feet.
Hey, Joe, I'm celebrating right now. Don't give me a downer. I'm celebrating. I'm gonna break out the champagne. If you were here, I'd give you some.
Oh, well, thanks, buddy. Hey, keep it chilled.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to now is Donna Brazile is taking over. And that's going to be even more fascinating.
Yes, isn't it though? Because, you know, Donna has some lovely things to say about Bernie Sanders in these emails as well.
Well, yeah. Isn't it interesting that all I'm seeing all over the news right now, and I just finished the news segment here just a few minutes ago, and all this all over the news right now is that the Bernie Sanders supporters are still hoping and praying he's got a chance. I mean, he's done everything but give up now. I mean, I think that what's going to happen is those supporters are going to go where they belong, to the Republican side.
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I'll bet you see a lot of it, Joe.
Oh, that'd be fine. I'm okay with that, but I don't see that happening. I see them just going away or becoming doing the Gary Johnson ticket.
That would be horrible. But I'll tell you what, wouldn't it be great if they just went away? Because according to everybody that I listen to, they say if they just go away and they don't vote, that's a vote for Trump.
Yeah, exactly. It all works against Clinton. It all works for Trump.
Yeah.
But the Democrats are out there saying that Donald Trump was in cahoots with the Russians to make this all happen. Serious.
You know what? You know
Well, I think the thing is, one of the things I'm just having a good time about right now is the fact that the Democrats went so far out of their way the last 2 days last week, Thursday and Friday, to talk about the unity that the Democrat Party was going to have, this and the dark and divisive narrative that was coming out of the Republican Party. And I was telling Joe, watching the program on Showtime called The Circus, and they were talking. These are Democratic strategists, people that made their money being Democratic strategists, and they were commenting as to how calm and peaceful the Republican National Convention is. And I'm sitting there, and then Cory Booker's out there telling everybody, we're not going to have this. We're not going to have the hatred and the vitriol and everything. I mean, they haven't even had their first speakers up there yet, and they're already torching each other.
Oh, yeah. You know what? What goes around, hey, Joe, what goes around comes around, right?
Yeah, well, Rome is the mob. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is what democracy looks like.
Yeah.
You know what? And all of you foreign countries, pay attention to what's happening here. You know what? What just happened in London? Maybe that's the peaceful country, huh?
I'm kind of wondering if it should continue this way. Apparently, see, here's the thing. One thing that we saw, that I saw this over the weekend, that we didn't see at the Republican National Convention, is that the Democrats have their own wall. They're building a wall outside of the center over there where they're having the convention in Philadelphia. And this wall looked, from what I could see of it, looked at least 10 feet tall. It was heavy iron mesh, and it's like really
and electrified, I think.
Just think of it as reinforced chicken wire, I guess. But very, iron. You can tell they were putting this thing up so that it couldn't be torn down.
Well, you saw what the Democrats did to Hollywood Boulevard. They built a wall around Donald Trump's star and put a flag on it.
Yeah, well, I think Joe's onto something. I think Trump will pick up some of the Sanders supporters, because there are actually groups out there picketing right now are saying that we're going to vote for anybody but Hillary. It's anybody but Hillary. Whereas on our side, we have, of course, no Trump. Okay, that kind of thing. I think Gary Johnson will benefit from this, and Gary Johnson might be the spoiler in this thing. In a race that looks like it's going to go down to the wire, Johnson might be the one that determines who the winner is.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Before the Republican convention, Trump was trailing Hillary by 6 points. Now he's beating her by 6 points. That's a 12-point spread just after the convention. Can you imagine what's going to happen with all this controversy today? I can't wait for the next polls to come out.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. The sad part for me is that I'm looking at Gary Johnson thinking, this guy doesn't look so bad now.
Little cream cheese never hurt anybody. Speaking of cream cheese, you want to talk about Tim Kaine?
Oh, Tim Kaine. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't have
Mr. Personality.
I don't have any parting gifts to give him, so it's not going to like me.
Yeah, they took Tim Kaine because John Kasich just would not change parties.
Yeah, Jesus, good Lord.
It's going to be okay. We do this on Monday, huh?
Yeah. Can you imagine how we're going to feel by Friday?
Oh, yeah, I tell you what, if this is any indication of what we're going to see during the week, I've got thrills going up my leg.
You know what? I'm actually recording it on 3 different networks to make sure I don't miss anything.
I was going to try to avoid most of it this week, but after talking to Joe, I'm like, oh, now I can't miss. This is must-watch TV.
This is going to be the best variety show we ever saw. This is going to be it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, this might make the 68 convention look like a fest.
Yeah, you know what? It's with all kidding aside, with all the trouble that is going on today and yesterday and all over the world, and what's going on in Germany, what's going on all over the place, don't you just kind of hold your breath to figure out what's going on here now?
Yeah, well, we got to take our break right now. When we come back, we'll talk about Tim Kaine. Let's find out what I want to see what you got to say about this guy. I have very little to say about him. I mean,
well, I know very little about him, and what I know about him is he's a Democrat, so that's already puts him on my list. So anyway, we'll talk about it when we get back.
He's got his own little skeletons, and we'll talk about that when we get back.
All right. Now, stay tuned. We'll be right back with John Matthews and Joe Hakos right after these brief messages. Do not go away.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful in visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios, Incorporated. Dr. Stephen.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. Well, we're getting ready to complete another segment of our simulcast with John and Joe. But let me tell you right now, at 3:47 p.m. Pacific time, it's still 100 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. It's on its way down to 70 degrees. And if you're listening to us on our globally syndicated network and you're in Paris, France, well, it's 68 degrees and clear. And in Rome, Italy, it's also 68 degrees and clear. So it couldn't be any nicer than that, I'm guessing. Well, you know what, Joe and John and I we're talking about the opening of the Democratic Convention, and when they call me back here in a couple of seconds, we'll be talking some more about that. We'll talk some about Tim Kaine. I don't really know an awful lot about him, but enough to joke about, I guess, a little bit. Anyway, we'll see how that works out. And but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Today's show will be fun. I sure miss my co-host though. Here we go, and we're back on the air with John and Joe.
Yeah. I'm just. This is going to be something to watch. They're not going to be. The Democrats are not going to be able to control this. They're not going to. I mean, all the effort they've made to pacify Bernie Sanders and his supporters, and now, this is already, they're already front and center. They started picketing out there yesterday, and now they're blocking subways. They're shouting down the speakers. I have no idea how far this is going to go. But
John, when you say they're not going to be able to control this, they're not controlling it now, and it's getting farther and farther away from them. They might as well just give up.
Well, this may be the first convention. They were talking about the fact that the Republican, this is the first time, some of the people that have been following Republican conventions for a while, I think Shepard Smith was one I picked up on the quickest. He said, I've been covering these things for a long time. And this is the first time they've ever asked somebody to come in to speak at the convention that didn't endorse the candidate. And he was referring to Ted Cruz.
Right.
I'm beginning to wonder if this might be the first convention we ever have where the candidate doesn't actually show up.
God, wouldn't that be great?
Maybe they'll stream her in from Skype, from the basement of her Colorado apartment or something.
They'll book Bernie for a second night.
I'm just saying, I can just imagine her sitting there in some little basement somewhere, and right next to her you see the little thing, a little machine, and it says server on it or something like that.
John, don't you find it interesting that the Democratic National Convention and all this controversy would be over emails?
Oh yeah, well, and it's so telling, but the bigger question in my mind is simply this. With all this controversy over emails, and the denial, I was rereading the transcript with Scott Peller, who was talking with Hillary Clinton right after the FBI had said, yeah, she did everything wrong. She broke the law, but we don't think she should be prosecuted. And he asked her, he said, well, it was Charlie Rose. That's who it was. Charlie Rose. He says, well, they said what you did was sloppy. And she goes, no, he didn't say that. And she goes, I'm looking at it right here. He did say it. And she goes, no, that's not what he meant. And how can anybody, you can be stoned to the gills and know that when somebody says something like that that's what they were saying. So
you know that when Hillary analyzes something and says, no, you got it wrong, this is what he meant. When she says what he meant, that's got to be fact, right?
Well, that's why I always come back to that famous Bill Clinton line. It all depends on what is. It's, it's the pendulum of relativity. And it's whatever it means, when it needs to mean, for whatever reason it needs to mean. And anybody that says, well, wait a minute, here's the absolute. This is the absolute. This has been documented. 30 million people watch this on TV. And this is what you said, and this is what you've done. And you look at those same people and you go, no, what you saw that's not what you saw, and that's not. And by the way, vote for me. It's because I only have your interest in heart.
Oh yeah.
It's funny you say that, John, because that was one of the themes in the movie over the weekend.
Yeah. Bob, have you seen Dinesh D'Souza's movie yet, Hillary's America?
No, I haven't.
Joe went and saw it. In fact, he said he saw it twice over the weekend. And expound on that theme, Joe.
Well, it's like always. It's always the plan. Look, you want something, you can't have it, whether because you're too stupid or you're inept or it's just not ever going to be yours because it's just not going to be yours. But according to Hillary and her friends, hey, vote for me. I'll make that happen for you. And when it comes time to pay, don't worry about it. It's on them. The people she stole from to make it happen, i.e. taxpayers.
Yeah. Well, like this conversation, the statement in Florida. Here's a perfect example, okay? She's down in Tampa, Florida. And It says, Donald Trump does not speak for anyone. And I'm thinking, okay, then were these people hired to go there? were the 14 million votes, were those stolen Democrat votes or something? And he's not the voice, of disgruntled, disenfranchised Americans, okay? She says, then she goes on to say here, she says, he offered a lot of fear and anger and resentment, but no solutions about anything that he even talked about. And she then goes on to say, I don't think he speaks for working. Here's the Mott and Bailey. We talk about the Mott and Bailey, Joe. Here's the Mott. I don't think he speaks for working families who would be devastated by his reckless economic policies. What reckless economic policies? We don't even know what his economic policies are.
So here's the rumor that I'm hearing. The rumor that I'm hearing is that Hillary is going to put Tim Kaine in charge of both domestic and foreign policy. I'm wondering what is she going to do?
Well, she's not going to do anything. That's the whole. And I'm glad you brought that up, Bob. I want to get your opinion, both of your opinions on this. My thing, I'm looking at the strategy here from this point on, okay, how this is going to work. I think Donald Trump will pretty much campaign on his own. There'll be some, like he's doing a town hall with Mike Pence today, but I think pretty much he'll be in one direction and Pence will be in the other. On the other hand, I don't think you're going to see Hillary Clinton showing up anywhere anymore without either Tim Kaine or Barack Obama or Debbie Wasserman Schultz or somebody out there, her husband or whatever, somebody whose coattail she can hang on, because this campaign, they cannot really put Hillary in front of anybody.
No, but that's going to make the first debate interesting. Have you heard anything? I haven't heard anything about a date for the first debate.
I've heard there's going to be 3 of them. But I mean, what's your take on that, Joe? What do you think? Do you think that what we're going to see here, Hillary Clinton will not be campaigning solo?
Well, she's going to have to do something on her own. I mean, for crying out loud, she wants to be president of the United States. The first debate's going to be in September. It's going to be on Long Island, the university there. I can't remember what it was.
University of Hawaii.
No, it's in Long Island.
Oh, Long Island. I thought you said, how sad is that?
Yes, it's going to be
good ice. They have some good iced tea up there.
Yes.
That's what she's going to get on stage and say, "I love your iced tea."
Well, here's in line with what you were saying, Bob. She's already said that Bill Clinton was going to handle the economy.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Now I'm thinking, what does Bill Clinton know about the economy? He's not the one that created the economy. But that aside,
I'd rather go with Robert Cardoza handling the economy.
Yeah.
Hey, I couldn't do any worse than anybody else.
Yeah.
Do better than me, Bob.
But the whole idea here is that we're talking about a woman that Barack Obama has said is the most qualified person in the history of the United States, maybe aside from Thomas Jefferson, who, by the way, was the original Republican.
Okay, well, Let's get this straight. Okay, let's get this straight. She can't do emails, and the whole damn Democratic Party can't figure out email, for crying out loud. How incompetent can you get?
Yeah. We're going to run the country on Blackberries like playing Pokemon.
She's going to give us more material than we can use for the next year. You know that, right?
If I was Saturday Night Live writers right now, I would be drooling. This woman is going to, between the both of them, actually. I'm not going to, Trump is not without his own little,
Hey guys, have you guys seen the play Cats?
The what?
The play Cats?
I have not seen that play, John. Or Robert.
I'm Bob. Yeah. John, have you seen Cats?
No.
Oh man, you guys missed out. Fantastic play. And the reason I bring it up is there was this one cat called Cheshire Cat. I swear to God, Tom Kane's, is it Tim? Tim Kane's looks just like that cat on Broadway.
No. He's a sly little cat, isn't he?
Let's just hope he doesn't have 9 lives.
Hey, Robert, you need to tell us about how people get a hold of you.
Are we out of time already?
Yeah, we are actually.
You know what? They can get a hold of me on your show this coming Friday at 3:30. But until then, I'm on every Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Go to my website at robertcardozalive.com or get my app. That's the best way to get it. It's absolutely free. You can get it on the Apple Store or GooglePlay.com, either one. Just search Robert Cardoza Live. It's right there. You can listen to me live if I'm live or listen to any of my archive shows. And you can even listen to John on my show. Hey, guys, have a great week. I love being with you. We'll talk to you on Friday.
All right. You take care, my friend. Good night.
All right. Now, the rest of you folks do not go away, because when we come back, we're going to be talking about the, you know what? We're going to be talking to John Hanson when we get back. We're going to just go on a short commercial break. When we get back, that little old wine drinker, John Hanson, will be with us. So you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back, folks.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Leinberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
When they ask who's the fool in the corner crying, I say, a little old wine drinker me.
And now, from the middle of a vineyard somewhere, a man who's never met a grape he couldn't cuddle up to, our resident advanced sommelier, John Hansen.
Hey, John, welcome aboard, buddy. You've been waiting long enough. You called in right on time, but we're running a little bit late, so I apologize for keeping you on hold so long.
No worries, no worries. Do we have our little sidekick today, Joey, or no?
You know what? He decided that he was going to take the day off because he's going to the circus with his little brother. So I don't have any relief. I don't get it. He just wants to show up when he wants to show up. He's a little bit like,
oh my God.
He's a little bit like you because you're not going to be here next week because you're going to be out playing with the waves, right?
Yeah. I'll be gone for 2 weeks because I don't get back until the morning of the 9th. I leave the night of the 27th, and we get up to Alaska midnight. I think our flight gets in there at midnight, and the next morning we take a train ride. It's 134 miles to the port there where we pick up our ship. Our ship.
You're going to Seward, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we have a nice 10-day cruise all the way down to Vancouver. Actually,
have you been to Alaska before, John?
No.
You know what? So you're going to go through Glacier Bay. It's going to be unbelievable.
Well, I tell you, I've been doing my homework, Bob, and it just looks amazing. I mean, the wildlife. They're saying that the eagles just fly right by you. I mean, it's just...
John, I've got to tell you that not just fly right by you. It's almost like you can touch them. They're huge, and they're just magnificent. They're beautiful, and they're just, it's almost like you can touch them. They're just so serene. It's just unbelievable.
Oh, I mean, it's the right in your backyard. I mean, even a train ride, they're saying you want a window seat on the train ride because you see everything. You see bears, you see everything. Just drive. I mean, they're right there. Like you can almost touch them from your window.
And just remember, John, you're catching that train in the morning. You want a lot of Irish coffee with you.
Yes, that's what I heard. And I tell you, because it is our first time, and I tell you, packing, we're a little, as I said, we're hearing a lot of things. People are saying do layers because it will get warm.
It'll be cold if you're on deck on the ship. It'll be a little cool, depending on what time of day it is. But you're going to find this is a perfect time to be in Alaska. It'll be shirt sleeves. You'll be wearing just your shirt sleeves. It'll be beautiful. You're going to probably go to Juneau, and you're going to go to a lot of these different places, and it's going to be magnificent. Just enjoy it. You're just going to love the whole thing.
Well, I tell you, there's so many excursions, and they're amazing, but the one I'm really looking forward to, we're taking a helicopter ride up to the top of the glacier, and then we're dog sledding down. And, I just can't wait to do that. I mean, helicopters ride fun because the view, I can imagine the view once you're up in there,
John, I'm guessing you've never dog sledded before. You and Raina are in for a treat. That is, you don't hear anything. It's just total silence, and it's the dogs running. And if it happens the way it did with Marlene and I, what'll wind up happening is the guy that runs the dog sled will say, okay, it's time for you guys to run the sled and meter ride, and they'll put you on the back there running the sled for a while. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to love it.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I heard, we're on Celebrity Cruise Lines, and they're top rated for food. So the food's going to be incredible. We have some other plans, especially in Vancouver. Can't wait. You helped me out tremendously there too. Things to do and so forth. So, it is just going to be so much fun. Nice little getaway. So, we'll have a lot to talk about when I get back from Alaska. I'm sure may have a couple shows worth.
Well, did you ever get that software that we talked about so you could actually do interviews on the boat, on the ship?
Yeah, I do. I did an interview with John Hilfiger up at Alpha Omega.
Yeah, so you just do a few interviews while you're up there, and we'll import them in here and make them part of the show.
That'd be great if especially if I can maybe sit down with a chef or somebody, or maybe I have like a sommelier on board there to actually interview them and see what their wine list is, and that could be fun. Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll be tasting some nice wines if we're interviewing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I would think that's the least they could do for you. Just keep in mind, John, that if they find out that you're an advanced sommelier, you'll get invitations to their special wine tastings because they have to change the wines on board ship quite often because the ships are rolling and moving, and so they have to rotate those wines, and so they have really nice wine tastings with fantastic wines, and they want to give it to the people that have the most appreciation. So they're going to pay attention to the kind of wines that you're ordering on while you're on board, and you just let them all know who you are, buddy.
Oh, maybe I'll just wear my pin and wear it proudly.
Yeah, wear your pin and take your business cards.
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna have so much fun. This is the first time we've heard. Everybody talks about when they do go on an Alaskan cruise. So it is something that is supposed to be just amazing. And this is one of the things that we can scratch off our bucket list. What we wanted to do. So we just can't wait. It's just been so hot here too. It'd be nice to get there where it actually is 60, 70 degrees of 100. So.
Yeah, but here's the deal, John. Don't wait until the sun goes down to take a drink because you're going to get awful thirsty.
I know. I think it doesn't go down to midnight or something. No,
it just gets dusk. It doesn't really get dark. The very first time that I ever went to Alaska, it actually had been part of a territory that I was responsible for a long, long time, and I had never gone because there wasn't enough business to warrant me going over there. And I was complaining about it just as I was getting ready to leave the Revlon, and they were saying, "Well, hell, it's still your territory. Go up there." And so I did. did. I went to Anchorage, Alaska, the week before Christmas, where the high was 30 below zero without a wind chill. I was staying at the Captain Cook Hotel there, and I thought, well, Jesus Christ, this is really going to be cool. I'm looking outside. I mean, what an understatement that is. Cool. It was cold. And anyway, I'm waiting, and I'm an early riser anyway, and I'm thinking, good Lord, what's wrong with me? I'm awake, and it's still pitch black, dark outside. I can't figure out what's going on, and I finally give up. And it gets to be, I want to say it got to be 7 or 8 o'clock, something like that. I went down to have breakfast in the hotel dining room, and I asked the waiter, I says, for God's sakes, what time's the sun going to come up around here? And he said, the sun generally rises right around 11:30, and it'll set about 1.
Oh my goodness!
You get an hour and a half of sunlight during that time of the year.
Well, I'm glad we're going in the summer then.
Yeah, it's going to be just the opposite.
12 hours.
It's going to be just the opposite. So you and Rain will be up on deck on the promenade deck with a bottle of champagne or prosecco or whatever your favorite for the evening is, and you guys will just go walking around the deck. It'll be peaceful. It'll be beautiful. You're just going to love the whole thing.
Well, as I said, we're going to bring. They said casual because most excursions are very casual.
Yeah.
You want to be comfortable as well. So they said, jeans, t-shirts, sweatshirts, where you can do layers where it may be cool in the morning and also it's going to warm up. You may want to take that sweatshirt off, but keep it close by because it'll get a little cooler again.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing. And we're planning on rain. I heard it does rain quite a bit up there. So definitely bring your rain gear as well. That's one thing that every website said that, do bring your rain gear. I did look at the forecast, and it looks like we're definitely going to get definitely a few days of rain. Now, I don't know if it's kind of like the tropics where it rains for, it's just hard for like about a half an hour, then it clears up just like that.
Well, John, we went in June, and you're going in August. But you know what? We took rain gear and stuff like that. It never did rain on us. We had beautiful weather the whole trip. It's just the people that were on that same cruise the week before us said that they had bad weather the whole week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be overcast, and there's a potential rain, but I don't know if it's just going to be overcast all day or if it's going to rain for a little bit and the sun come out. But, there's definitely days where it's like 50% chance of rain that I'm looking at in the forecast coming up. So we're going to cover ourselves every possible, whatever we do, we're going to make sure we're going to have a good time and be warm or covered. So
here's the thing: you're going to want souvenirs anyway. So if it gets a little chilly, you buy a sweatshirt that says Alaska on it. That's all.
There you go. Exactly. Or if the sweatshirts we do bring get a little wet, we may want to buy a nice, dry, warm one.
Yes, well. Absolutely. And they've got some great bars. I said I should call them saloons, actually. Most of the towns up there are small villages and things like that, and they've got saloons, and they're just a lot of fun, John.
Oh, well, I'm sure I will find my way to one of those.
I'm sure you will too. So listen, hey, how was well, you know what? I had dinner here at the house for a good friend of ours, on Saturday. I had Mark Mitzenmacher, and his, latest squeeze was here. And we had a really, really nice evening with them. I did duck à l'orange, and of course she doesn't eat duck, and neither does Tiffany. So I made poulet à l'orange for them. I made a really nice mushroom risotto and a roasted asparagus spears. And then I also made them. Do you remember the scallop appetizer that the Morning Loved at Rose's?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, I have actually plagiarized that thing, and I make it. Well, I made it for you once, so I made that for them as well as an appetizer, and then I made them a creme brulee for dessert. We just had a great time.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds delicious. I saw Mark, about 6 months ago. I met his new. Is it still the same lady that I brought?
Yes,
to
Debbie.
Your,
yeah, Debbie.
Okay.
Debbie.
Yes. Lovely lady.
Yeah.
And, they seem very happy. I am happy for Mark. I mean, what a great guy he is. And, he did, bring a bottle, of his wine. He says, you have to try it. Tell me what's like it. It was very good.
Yeah.
It was very good. Yeah.
So you're not going to try and take any of your own wine on this trip, I hope, because they'll confiscate it.
They say you can bring 2 bottles.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Bottles per stateroom is what what it says. So we're going to bring 2 good bottles, and the rest, we're going to have to see what the ship has. So we'll have, we may just have the bottles up in our room and just, open them up. And we're like, it's between lunch and dinner and we want to have a glass of wine. We may just do that instead of going to the ship's bar there.
Yeah.
Something a little nice, maybe a little cheese crackers and a nice little bottle of wine. But, we're going to, they said you can bring 2 per stateroom. So we're definitely going to bring 2, because I'm sure they have a very good wine list, but it is a special event for us, so we want to make sure we do definitely enjoy.
Well, here's the deal: you can have 2. You can have 2 per stateroom, right? That ship's going to stop probably 5 times during this cruise.
Yeah, but you can't bring it aboard. That's the problem. You can do it once. Because they have like duty-free liquor and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You can buy liquor there, which is really cheap, but they won't give it to you until the last day of the cruise. So basically, the last day you can open up your liquor and drink some, but then you got to bring it on the plane to get back. So it's like, well, what do? You can't have an open bottle of liquor on the plane there. So
right.
If you open up, you got to drink the whole thing that one day. So,
well, that kind of sucks. You know what? Just enjoy it. I can tell you, they will have a nice wine list. So don't sweat it. They'll, especially they'll have a nice wine list for somebody who has the expertise that you have. It's not necessarily how expensive it is. You're going to find wines on that list that will appeal to you, and they'll have a wine tasting. And you and Raina need to go to the wine tasting.
Oh, absolutely. We're there's always events going on board the ship as well. So we're going to get the itinerary and look through it and see, if there is wine tastings or cheese tastings or whatever. Because generally, if you have a cheese tasting, there's going to be wine with it too. So,
yeah.
And the first gentleman I do want to meet, of course, is if they do have a sommelier on board, which I'm sure they do. It's a big cruise. They're going to have a sommelier on board, and definitely introduce myself and meet him. So.
Absolutely. Just make it a point.
Absolutely.
Meet the chief steward and introduce yourself and tell him you want to meet the sommelier.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So listen, we have about 2 minutes before we have to take a break. You want to kind of tell us what we're going to be talking about, or are we going to continue our travel fair here?
Yeah, 2 things. Since I figure I will be gone for a couple of weeks, I kind of want to get everything in a nutshell on our second half of the show there. There's a big Pinot event on I want to talk about up in Oregon. Also, I do want to do like a little restaurant segment, but of course we do have to talk about wine. And we'll definitely do the wine pick of the week. And also, what we're going to talk about, of course, after I get back, I'm sure it's going to be the trip, but also there's a couple of things going on in LA, Orange County that we're definitely going to talk about.
So that sounds great.
When we get back, we'll get everything all in a nutshell here and have a little fun.
Well, that sounds good. We're talking to our own little old winemaker, John Hansen, who's about ready to desert us and go to Alaska with his lovely wife. We'll be right back with John in his thoughts right after these brief messages. Do not go away.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful in visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make the interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios, Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Dental Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4:21 p.m. Pacific time. It's currently, get this, 101 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, that's down from 108 degrees. Whew, that's hot. And it's on its way to 70 degrees. But you know what? If you're listening to us on our globally syndicated network and you're in London, England, well, it's 68 degrees and mostly cloudy. And if you're in Vienna, Austria, it's 70 degrees and scattered clouds. I should have looked up Alaska while I was at it, but I wasn't thinking about it. But right now, waiting in the wings is our own little old wine drinker, John Hanson. Hey, John, you got the microphone, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Well, if anybody is free this weekend and has the opportunity to travel.
Oh, wait a minute. You're inviting us all to come with you on your trip?
No. Don't be jumping yourself out. No. But if you can make it up to Oregon, they're having a big event up there. It's the International Pinot Noir Celebration. It's a big 3-day event up there.
And you know who's going to be there, John?
You?
Nope. Mark Mitzenmacher. His son moved up there, and he's been invited up, and they're gonna do that.
They're going to have a lot of fun. They've never been there. You know, back when, one of our first shows, actually, we did the show from a nice little guest house up there in Oregon, and it was at the Domaine Serene Guest House. And I tell you, I was so impressed with the wines. And, you know, everybody talks about Oregon Pinots, right? I tell you, they're whites. It's usually Alsatian whites, you know, Pinot Gris, Auxerrois, Riesling, Pinot Blanc. Just unbelievable racing acid, just beautiful wines. You do get terroir on them, but you just still get the big fruit. But I tell you, you can easily mistake these wines for like Alsatian whites, like Grand Cru Alsatian whites. So they're just amazing. But one of the gentlemen I met up there, Josh Bertram, he became a good friend of mine. I think probably the best Chardonnay out of Oregon this guy makes. Just incredible. And it's funny because a couple we went up there with, when he tried, I think it was like the 2011 barrel sample, he wanted to buy it all, everything. And Josh looked at him and said, I got to put it in the bottle first before you can buy it. So that's how good their Chardonnay is. And I'm not a Chardonnay drinker. You know, I would go for anything else but Chardonnay, but his Chardonnay was just amazing. His Pinots, just incredible wines. He does a Pinot Noir Rosé too, which was great. You know, a lot of places does a GSM. I don't know why everybody has to fool around with Rhone varietals up there. Now, he did study in France, and he actually was in the Rhone Valley for a while, so I think that's why he wants to do a GSM up there. But if you are available to go, it is amazing. Oregon's going to be much cooler than it is down here. I guarantee it's not going to be 100-some degrees up there. But if you are interested, you go on the website, go to Bergstrom, because they have special packages, too, for this gala event, where you get some of their wine. You get a nice little special deal if you buy 6 or 12 mixed bottles. Go online. It's bergstromwine.com. If you're interested in the events, talk to Catherine, and that's at Catherine at bergstromwine.com. Or you can just call the winery at area code 503-554-0463. That's area code 503-554-0463. You'll have the time of your life. The wineries up there are incredible. Much different from Napa Valley. They're more spaced out, so you just don't go down like Highway 29 or Silver Isle Trail and just stop every few feet to have a glass of wine. But you really see it's more rustic. The wines are incredible. You're going to have celebrity chefs. You get to meet all the winemakers and have some incredible wines there. It's, as I say, it's a 3-day gala event. It's a lot of fun. You can do it. Definitely get up there and enjoy Oregon, because it is amazing. And you're right outside Portland, Willamette Valley there. And I tell you, if you're a foodie, Portland's one of the top food capitals of the world now. There's amazing restaurants up there in Oregon as well. So if you can go, have a lot of fun. But, Bob, I was hoping that you and I could actually maybe get out and have lunch before I go on the trip, but I guess we won't be able to do that. So we'll do it when we get back.
Yeah.
We got a nice dinner planned as well.
Yes, we do. It's all scheduled and set to go.
So, we'll do something fun there. Unfortunately, we wanted to get to the White House because they are celebrating their 30th anniversary. And by the way, the International Pinot Noir celebration up in Oregon is celebrating also the 30th anniversary up there. So it's been something that's been up there for a long time. It's a lot of fun.
Well, the White House is giving 30% off on their entrees.
Oh, yeah. And you can't beat that. And just past the 22nd and 23rd for the 30th anniversary, they're doing a lobster special. So there's incredible lobster dinner for $30. Now, our good friends at
that's a triple, right? That's a triple tail.
It's a triple tail. Yeah. So you're looking basically $10 a tail, just like our friends at Ways and Means. Tonight, Monday nights, you can get the $9.99 lobster tail at Ways and Means, but you only get that one lobster, unfortunately. We're at the White House. You had the 3 tails, so for $30. So if you're really hungry, that's the place to go, because every time we go to the Ways and Means, once we became good friends, we were able to get that couple of extra lobster tails there when we went. We're at $9.99. You can only basically just get that one tail.
Oh, they're losing money on it.
Oh yeah, well we had the chef from the Ways and Means on, and he actually said that his cost was $11, and that's not including the labor, the gas, utilities, all that other stuff. So it's costing a little more than $11 after putting it out there for basically $10. So it is a little loss leader, and it's something that the White House, 30 years of being in business, is doing for the good patrons.
Well, we need to actually do we could actually go to Ways and Means, you and me, and just record. We don't have to take all the equipment. It doesn't have to be a live thing. We could just record a segment there with it, because it's the same. You said it's the same cook, right? Same chef?
Yeah, the chef's the same. Yeah, well, unless something happened that we haven't known about.
Yeah.
Once they did reopen down there, it was the same chef they had up here in Orange County. So.
Because you and I could go there and we could actually record an interview with him, and that would be a good excuse for him to break out the extra lobsters.
There you go. I like what you think, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I tell you, let's schedule that as well, because that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But also on the restaurant side, Bob, another one of our old shopping grounds, especially when I used to come out and visit you in Rancho Cucamonga, we used to go to Fleming's quite a bit.
Yeah.
And they're doing a lot of specials too, especially for the restaurant people. They do a Sunday Monday special, and that's the days most restaurants are closed, and a lot of the restaurant people have off. That's my 2 days off, Sunday Mondays. So they have for Sunday Monday they have a 3-course dinner, prime rib dinner, for $34.95. A nice little choice of appetizers, that prime rib dinner, a nice little choice of desserts. But also on Monday, if you don't want to have just prime rib every night, they have a Chilean sea bass, which is what they call Chilean sea bass, which comes a little pricey, for $49.95. So basically $50, but the 3-course dinner as well. Choice of appetizers, the Chilean sea bass, and a choice of desserts. So you can go on Monday.
So for that price, do they do a wine pairing with it?
Well, they have that wine event going on till August, where they give you a taste. They have 2 wines or 3 wines available for you to try, and if you like it, you can buy a bottle, and they're going to give you 50% off that bottle.
Mm.
So it's a taste. They have it's called the 100 wine taste, where through I think they start in June. So June, July, and towards the end of August, I think like August 20th or something like that, they go to. They feature a couple wines where you can actually taste. And if you like the wine, you can purchase a bottle for 50% off. So it's a great deal. And also, if you do frequently visit Fleming's, they do have what they call the rewards program, where every 4th dining experience you have, you get 50% off your entrees. So you do go there at least 3-4 times a month. You may want to join that rewards program, where the 4th dining experience you have, you get 50% off your entree. So it has to be over $40 as well. There's a little stipulation there, but
that's okay. You can't get in there for under that anyway.
Yeah, no. It's a small stipulation, but I don't think they have much things on their menu under $40.
No. No. Okay.
But let's talk a little about wine, Bob, before we run out of time.
All right.
Parker released an incredible statement. He said the 2013 vintage, is the best vintage in his 37 years of rating wines.
Oh, really?
It was scored 98 points as a whole for the 2013 vintage. A lot of people saying this is the best vintage in decades. And so go out and get your 2013. Now, Wine Exchange, they have a couple specials. They have the 2013 Alexander Valley Vineyard Cabernet. Parker gave it 92 points, but only $19.98. So $20 a bottle, under $20 a bottle, you get a 92-point Cabernet. Alexander Valley has been there for ages. Actually, the Wetzel family owns it. And they planted in, I think, late 50s, early 60s. They used to just sell to the grapes to wineries, and they made their own private little stash. Used to give it away to friends and family. And in 75, the oldest son actually started making wine for them, and they opened the winery back in 75. Their Cabernet is amazing. For $20 a bottle, 92 points. Now, Parker's tasting notes, you got big extracted fruit, you got chocolate, plum, blackberry, and cassis. You also got smoky earth and underbrush as well. So nicely layered. For $20, you can't beat it. Now, also at Wine Exchange, they have the Michael David Winery, which is out Lodi. This scored 90 points. Okay, also for $19.98 a bottle.
Wow.
For 90-point wines for under $20 a bottle. And they also have the Rutherford Ranch Cabernet, all 100% Cabernet from the bench there, Rutherford Bench, out in Napa Valley. Also scored 90 points for $17.98. So you got some, under $20 bottle cabs that are scoring in the 90s. Hey, you can't beat that. That is just amazing. Amazing. Go out.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, where can you actually find something like that?
Well, I'm surprised that you can't find wines like that at your favorite place, Costco.
Well, I haven't seen it at Costco. If they do, I'll let you know. It may be $15 at Costco. We'll see. I actually went to Costco today to look for it. I didn't see anything, so I couldn't find it. At least at the Costco in my area here. So, and that's what's funny about Costco. You find some at one Costco, you won't find it at the other Costco. You kind of have to look around. Certain Costcos have certain things on the wine side. But for the next time, of course, we're probably going to take a good show or so after talking about the Alaskan trip.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know this, but microbrewers, they've been invading Orange County, microbrew. And there's actually 3 right next to Angel Stadium now. I mean, before you used to go down to San Diego, and they used to have like little limousine services that take you to like about 10 little microbreweries down there. It's a lot of fun. And now it's kind of invading Orange County. Mm-hmm. So that's something that is becoming very popular up here. We have to go all the way down to San Diego to see these incredible little microbreweries. And that is the next thing where California actually is starting to become the place. It's no longer, Belgium or so. They're looking at us now for our microbreweries. And it's an incredible time, back when we were somewhat young, back in the 70s and 80s, United States beer was just horrible.
Mm-hmm.
We had the 2 beer and all that stuff. And, they used to laugh at us overseas, and now they're looking at us coming over, seeing what we're doing over here. I mean, it's just a big explosion in the microbrewery industry. And also, I also want to talk about the Rams are back in town. Can't wait. Now, the new stadium doesn't open to 2019. They're at the Coliseum for 2 years, but $1 billion stadium, mall, shopping, and of course restaurants. And I can't wait to see when we find out what restaurants are actually going in that humongous facility there where the Rams are going to be playing. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait.
Well, that's going to be state of the art. That's going to really be something.
Oh. Well, the first preseason game is the Cowboys actually on the 13th. So we got dinner plans on that day, I believe. But,
yes, we do.
And it's a preseason game, so it doesn't count or anything. But the football season's upon us. We got pro football in Orange County, LA County rather. Can't wait.
Well, before I let you go, because we've got about 30 seconds left, I'd like to get a health update on you. How you feeling? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Basically, I mean, I I'm putting my socks on, I'm tying my shoes now, so the range of motion is almost there. I'm probably at 87% my range of motion in my hip. And basically, only really the soreness is where the scarring is, which is, of course, they went down into the bone, took the bone out and put a, prosthetic titanium chap in there, basically. So I'm sure I'm going to have a little soreness for a couple of months. So other than that, I mean, it feels great. I get around great, and it feels good to walk without any pain now. So I mean,
well, you know what? I'm so happy that worked out for you, John. You're going to go on a great vacation with that lovely wife of yours, and is this a birthday present for her, by the way?
Well, her birthday lasts usually about 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess you can call a little birthday present for her.
Okay. Hey, have a great time. Stay safe. I envy you. You're going to love every part of this. I can't wait to hear about it. Take your the app with you that does the recording, so we can we can and just know that you want to fill at least 15-minute segments.
Absolutely. That'd be fun. I can't wait.
All right. Stay happy, stay safe, and make everybody around you glad that they are. Don't forget to introduce yourself to everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, John. Have a good one. Now, the rest of you folks do not go away, because when we come back, we're going to be talking about the birthdays for the day, the secret daily teaching for your life, the Harvard business tip of the day, and interesting, but useless facts. I'll tell you all about it right after these brief messages.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. You know, nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, you know, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4:41 p.m. Pacific time. It is currently 101 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, that's down from 103. I guess they changed that. They said 108 earlier. Anyway, it's on its way, but it's on its way down to 67 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire. And if you're listening to us on our globally syndicated network and you're in Madrid, Spain, well, it's 81 degrees and clear. And if you're in Tokyo, Japan, it's 75 degrees and mostly cloudy. But right now, it's time for us to give you the Harvard business tip of the day. And well, you know what? I just hit something bad here. I don't know what the heck I did, but let's get it back. Here we go. So we're going to do the Harvard business tip of the day. And the management tip today is manage your employees' expectations around promotions. You know, a driven employee is every manager's dream, but when you have a direct report whose ambition and desire are overmatched by their ability or experience, managing expectations isn't easy. If the employee asks for a promotion that they aren't ready for, here's how you handle the situation. One of the most powerful things that you can say in response is, I believe in you. If you generally mean it, after acknowledging their contributions, say, you're not yet ready for that promotion. Let's talk about how you can get there. Or, Help your employee understand what they need to learn before promotion's possible, and that you're there to help. If, for example, they lack cross-functional skills, suggest that they do a stint in another division or join a company-wide committee. And then finally, dig deeper. Learn what motivates your employee by asking open-ended questions like, what does success look like for you? If they want recognition or more autonomy, think about ways that you can provide those things. That's how you handle those kinds of situations the proper way. Well, you know what? It's time for our secret daily teaching for your life. This is all about a positive mental attitude. You've heard me say it many, many times. You really are in charge of whether you're happy, sad, a success or a failure, rich or poor, or even if the people around you are going to be happy. You get up in the morning, you look in the mirror and say, wow, it's going to be a great day. And I promise you that's exactly what will happen. You just keep that attitude. Now, our teaching for today is how it will happen, how the universe will bring it to you is not your concern or your job. Allow the universe to do it for you. When you're trying to work out how it will happen, you are emitting a frequency that contains a lack of faith, that you don't believe that you have it already. You think you have to do it, and you do not believe the universe will do it for you. The how is not your part in the creative process. The belief is, the positive mental attitude. That's what is. Well, you know what today is. Sure you do. It's Monday. It's July the 25th. And yep, it is absolutely somebody's birthday. Okay, so we've got a number of nice birthdays for you today. Actually, 3 of them to be exact. And we think that you're going to be thrilled with each and every one of them. So let's get to them. Here's somebody that was born in 1907, passed away in 1970. A saxophonist, best known for leading Duke Ellington's saxophone section for 38 years. Happy birthday, Johnny Hodges. And here's somebody that most of us all know. He was born in 1954, died in 1999, was a football player who spent his entire professional career with the NFL's Chicago Bears. My son-in-law would appreciate that. Happy birthday, Walter Payton. And then finally, born in 1967, an actor best known for his role as Joey Tribbiani in the NBC sitcom Friends. Happy birthday, Matt LeBlanc. And you know what? Because of my genius grandson, we've got to talk about what happened today in history. I can tell you that on July 25th, 1722, the 3 Years' War begins along the Maine and Massachusetts border. And in 1853, Joaquin Murrieta, the famous California bandit known as Robin Hood of El Dorado, is killed. And then finally, in 1897, writer Jack London sails to join the Klondike Gold Rush, where he will write his very first successful stories. Well, our quote for today comes from Keshavan Nair, and Keshavan says, with courage you will dare to take risks, have the strength to be compassionate, and the wisdom to be humble. Courage is the foundation of integrity. Yeah. That's a fact. Well, we got a couple minutes. Let's do some interesting but useless facts. Did you know lemons contain more sugar than strawberries? You wouldn't think so, would you? How about this? Did you know that the Catholic Church only declared in 1992 that the earth may go round the sun? Yeah, think about it. 1992. They thought, well, we'll let it go. How about this? Several nations, you know what? Norway, Australia, New Zealand, France, Great Britain, Chile, and Argentina have advanced claims on sections of the continent of Antarctica. The United States does not recognize any of those claims, since we're the ones that are actually doing all the work out there. How about this? At sea level, there are 2,000 pounds of air pressure on each square foot of your body area. Yeah, they call it gravity. Yeah, that's what they call it. And did you know that a hummingbird flaps its wings up to 90 times a second. That's 5,400 times a minute. Busy little buggers, aren't they? Try this on for size. Did you know that reindeer like bananas? Here comes Santa Claus. Well, here's one for you, another one for you anyway. In the early days of boxing, when a boxer was getting throttled and wished to end the bout, he would take his sponge and toss it in the middle of the ring. Thus originated the phrase, to throw in the sponge. How about the towel? That's what I've always heard about. Let me give you one more. Nearly 87% of the 103 people polled in 1977 were unable to identify correctly an unlabeled copy of the Declaration of Independence. Now, that is sad. So I can't leave you on that one. There are more than 1 million animal species on Earth. And they got them all, male and female, on the ark. Give that some thought. Well, don't go away. We got to take a short, brief message. When we come back, we're going to do our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey and the rest of the story. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go away.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios, Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39. A complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4:53 p.m. Pacific time. It's currently 101 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, that's down from 103 degrees on its way to 67 degrees. And if you're listening to us on our global syndicated network and you happen to be in Sydney, Australia, well, it's 61 degrees and partly cloudy. And if you're in Auckland, New Zealand, it is 59 degrees with some scattered clouds. But right now, let's get to what you're all waiting for. It's time for our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey. And the rest of the story, he's the biggest and best voice in America, reveals the startling heartbeats behind the headlines. Paul Harvey, one of America's favorite radio and TV commentators, heard on over 775 ABC radio stations and over 400 foreign stations, seen on 110 television stations, and read in 300 newspapers, a recipient of numerous awards and honors, including 9 honorary degrees, and he's on the Gallup polls list of America's most admired men. Boy, you know, what a storyteller he was. And talking about that, here's the first story for today, or the only story for today for that matter. And the title of it is By Any Other Name. Of all the artists and musicians with proud and exotic names, perhaps none was so proud, so apparently exotic, as pianist Olga Samaroff. The confounded audiences on 2 continents with legendary performances of the Tchaikovsky First Piano Concerto, with dazzling recitals of piano music that spanned the centuries. In fact, she, Olga Samaroff, is considered by a majority of critics to have had the most brilliant career, the longest of all her contemporaries. She was herself for 2 years a music critic on the New York Evening Post, and her impact off stage was felt elsewhere. She taught at the Juilliard Graduate School and at the Philadelphia Conservatory. Among her best-known pupils were William Capel and Rosalind Turek. But it is for her charismatic, enigmatic life on the concert stage that Olga Samaroff is best remembered. She performed at a time when Russian musicians were enormously popular, but Olga Samaroff, by any other name, would have been a great pianist. The first woman from her native country to be admitted to the Paris Conservatory, she studied there after returning to America in 1900. And American audiences must have been intrigued indeed by her authority, by her bearing, and by that almost magic name, Olga Samaroff. Wherever she went in the world, Olga Samaroff created a sensation. She was a formidable woman, a fiery and temperamental pianist, and perhaps to some she was even cloaked in mystery. During an age when Russian artists were particularly in demand, Olga Samaroff was particularly in demand. But she was not Russian. If the pseudonym Samaroff was enough to intrigue her audiences, it was also enough to intrigue the man whom she would one day marry, Maestro Leopold Strawowski. Whether she told him the rest of the story when they first met, only they would know. For Olga Samaroff was born in San Antonio. Her name, before it was Mim Leo Stokowski, before it was Olga Samaroff, was Lucy Hickenhooper. Yeah, and now you know the rest of the story. You know, tomorrow we're going to be doing another story from Paul Harvey for you to enjoy. I mean, we enjoy all these things, and it's Polaris Jack is the name of tomorrow's story. You're not going to want to miss it. All these stories are really good. They're unique, and they just keep you intrigued. That's the best part about these stories. I want to also tell you that on our show tomorrow, we're going to be with our own Sean LaFave, and Sean and I will be talking about healthcare on his Geared for Wellness Corner. We're going to continue talking just briefly. We were talking about lead on Thursday last week, and this week we're going to talk about the fact that you can actually deplete that lead content or build up in your body so that you don't have those adverse effects and IQ problems and all the other problems we were talking about last week. And I also want to contribute our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey, as I mentioned, in the rest of the story. And we're going to ask you to please tell all your friends about our show here on the RLC Broadcasting Network. We're here every Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. You know, on Mondays and Fridays, we also do a simulcast with John Matthews and Joe Hakos on the Conservative Syndicate. So we actually broadcast on both stations worldwide. So you don't want to miss those things. They're really, really interesting, and they're really, really good. We really appreciate you listening to our show. You can listen to it on our app, as I've told you about earlier, or you can listen to it on numerous stations worldwide. You can listen to it on podcast. You can listen on Spreaker. You can listen to it on 405 radio. It just goes on and on and on. We just hope that no matter where you're listening to us and how you're listening to us, that you are listening to us and that you're enjoying it. That's what's the most important thing, as far as I'm concerned.
That's our show for today. Beginning today, treat everyone you meet as if they were going to be dead by midnight. Extend them all the care, kindness, and understanding that you can muster. Your life will never be the same again. So many of our dreams at first seem impossible, then they seem improbable, and then when we summon the will, they soon become inevitable. You know, the real secret of happiness is to make others believe that they're the cause of it. Robert Cardoza Live is brought to you by blogtalkradio.com every Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. Now, go out and make it a great day. Your host has been Robert Cardoza, the technical advisor, Matchstick Digital, and your executive producer, also Robert Cardoza.